What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is a time for a vlog, and I've been kind of thinking about what I want to talk about, going back and forth. Last week I talked about my high functioning anxiety and what all that looks like on my Monday and Friday videos. So today, I think this week I'm going to do something a little different. I think this week I want to talk about being single in the world today and what it looks like. Now it's just not going to relate to me. It can relate to single men, even though I'm not a man. I can't relate to fully what all they may think about and go through, but I'm pretty sure some things are adaptable. But played around with an idea of a topic of being single in the world and being single in the kingdom of God. What do they look like, and how do they kind of clash with each other? So when you're single nowadays, people are kind of like, well, what's wrong with you, kind of thing. Why are you still single? Why aren't you seeing somebody? Why aren't you dating someone? Plus, it's kind of hard to do that nowadays because of COVID and safety precautions and all different kinds of things. But if you're single and of the world, you kind of get tapped into this world of giving easily to the flesh, taking anything that comes along. Sorry for the sunlight, it's just really bright because I'm going directly into the sun. So you could be given into being easily persuaded to have sex with someone on the first date. You could be easily persuaded to do things outside of your comfort zone in the worldly sense that you may not be ready for. Even if you're a believer, you can be pressured. So you got to be careful of what you associate and assimilate with in your single life, because in my single life, yes, I am saved and I am a believer and everything, but you're going to run across all kinds of people. And in my experience, which is very limited, I will admit, that I've run across unbelievers. I've run across believers that are fence riders. I've run across believers that are wolves in sheep's clothes. I've run across atheists. I've run across unbelieving but believing, but yet they're married and they still want to mess around. I've run into all kinds of crap. So you got to be very careful in today if you're single. And like I said, that can go the same thing if a man finds a woman that's the same way, because they're out there. So what it basically boils down to is, if you're of the faith and then you're of the kingdom side, you're going to do things differently than what you would of the flesh. If you're of the kingdom, you would enter courtship, you would date for purpose, and not when you're of the world and you date for a hookup, or you date for a one-night stand, or you date for a temporary void feel and you keep it moving. It all looks different when you're of the kingdom. So you have to have a level of discernment when going about these things. So first and foremost, I've had to backpedal a lot of things because I found that I had self-worth issues because of my environment being raised in, that having parents that were emotionally detached, that weren't emotionally available, that in my formative years they didn't give you the affirmations, they didn't give you the nourishment that you need in those formative years to build a level of esteem and worth and knowing who you are, not only in them but within yourself as a person. So all those things I've lacked. So I've had to work on building those things as I progress throughout this life. And it's still a work, and it's still going to be a work. So look if you're in the world and you're of dating age, or you want to date, sit down and look at why those relationships failed, why they didn't go anywhere, why they never got off the ground, and then look at, okay, are you going about it for the wrong reasons? Because I know I have. I wanted someone to come in and fill my voids. I wanted them to fill that space that I didn't get in my childhood. And doing that would deplete someone. That takes away from them. That takes away from their personhood. That takes away from their character. That takes away from them, because if they're constantly trying to patch you up from what you didn't get as a child, then you're basically essentially placing a partner in the position of what your parents should have done in your childhood years. And I've had to look at all those things, and my time of isolation really brought those things to the surface when I had COVID. That the sun is like right there. That my voids can be deep because of the lack of nourishment that I got. So I've had to, as my coach, she puts out and teaches us to self-parent. So I've had to learn to self-parent in those areas. Is it easy? No. Is it difficult? Yes, very much so. So when you are thinking about wanting a relationship, when you want to get into that type of situations in life, then look at it as I've always been taught, that if you enter into a partnership, a relationship with someone, that they are to be an accessory. They add to your life. They bring the best out of you. You don't add and take away from each other in bad ways, but you're there to. It's a partnership. It's an equal give and take kind of thing. And if you enter these things and you find yourself with narcissists, or you find yourself with these abusive people, or you find yourself with these emotionally disconnected people where that you're just there for them, then need to back up and say, why did I enter that situation? What was something about me that opened myself up to that situation? And I know I find myself that's why I have fallen into some traps that I'm glad I didn't get too far in, that never got off the ground, that never went anywhere. But if they'd gone too far, it could have really led into some bad situations. So being single nowadays is very difficult. So in 2020, I've really learned to self-parent those areas, and I still got a whole bunch more work to do, but I'm getting better at little Pac-Man bites, little bit by little bit. I'm gonna get there to heal and recover, so that I can be to a place where I'm emotionally and mentally and logically stable to handle relationships better. So I won't be looking for a partner to completely suck the life out of them to fill my needs that I didn't get as a childhood. And if they come along and they find that those things are prevalent in their life, then I hope that they take that time to heal those areas too. We can do it together. That's what partnership is all about, that we do things together, to grow together, to overcome things together, to not just do life alone, but to grow in the areas that we need to grow in. And that's what it's all about. So that's kind of what I wanted to vlog about today. It's probably all over the place and it may not make sense, but it's something that I wanted to get off my chest and put out into the world. I just went past where I was gonna go. I need to go back. Anyway, so y'all continue to be safe out there. It's a jungle and it's December, so it's gonna be even more insane. So please be careful, please be safe, wear a mask, socially distance, wash your hands, sanitize, take extra precaution, and be careful if you're single in this world. Tap into some discernment, Get people on the scene if you're interested in someone so they can help you out and get through this. Y'all have an amazing one. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.